Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Fitness literally saved my life when I felt like I was spinning out of control after I lost my wife. It became a necessity. It gave me hope again. It gave me control to live my life again. It gave me vision to honor her legacy. If you've suffered a loss, it can be super hard mentally, physically, and emotionally. Here's how fitness can help you with grieving so you can start living again. Stay tuned. Hey, my friend Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose. And there I was, overweight, overworked, overwhelmed. I was a teacher. I was about 60 pounds overweight, I'm guessing, since I refused to acknowledge that the pounds had gained over the years and I was not going to step on the scale. I wasn't going to let it get in my head. All I know is I saw myself in a video. I saw that one day and I didn't like what I saw and I didn't like how I felt. I spent most of the day at a computer or I wasn't really active that much. And when I vowed that I would never get that overweight, there I was, that overweight. And my wife, Terry, she was feeling about the same way about herself. And she wanted to, we got to talking one day and she wanted to try this extreme eating plan of some sort where you cut out a bunch of carbs. And, as she explained it to me, I'm like, that isn't something that I think I could do on a consistent basis. It seemed a bit much for me. So I told her that I had bought this 90-day fitness program. I secretly bought it off an infomercial, and it had been sitting in a drawer for a year and a half. Now, I gave it a good try, but I couldn't seem to stick with it for whatever reason. So here she was. She was going to do this thing, and I decided to dig in and do my thing. And finally say, you know what, we're both going to stick with a plan for a while. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I did amazing. By the end of that summer, I was back to wearing clothing I had not fit into for like 5 years. And I was at a weight that I had not seen on the scale in 13 years. Yeah, I finally stepped back on the scale. Once it was all done, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm back to that weight. Gosh, it's been like 13 years since I saw that. I had more energy. I was feeling more confident. I was actually being more creative and productive. So my wife, Terry, she joined me after she found that eating plan wasn't working for her. It was more challenging than what she thought. And she saw my results, and so she started doing that. And she found herself being consistent with fitness, and she noticed her energy and her zest for life. And she was even getting biceps on her arms. Her arms were being more defined as she was helping me set up some tables and chairs for a Thanksgiving gathering. It was so cool. December 9th, 2003. Started just like any other day, except for one exception. Terry came in to give me a kiss before she headed out to work, and she looked a bit anxious. And she was like, well, see you later. And I totally forgot. She was having a root canal that day, and she was always stressed when she had to visit a dentist. As a matter of fact, anytime she had a dental appointment, whether it was for getting a filling or it was just even just to get a teeth cleaning, I always drove her to that appointment. She went to a dentist that was several miles away. It was over in Madison, Wisconsin. We lived probably about 35 minutes away, but I always drove her there. And this was a big appointment. This is a root canal, and we never even discussed arrangements for me to take her that day. Plus, here's the thing. She always compared some big negative life event to the comparison of having a root canal. Now, she had never had a root canal before, but she dreamed it up of having, some sort of torturous agony to it. And so any negative life event that was happening, she was like, oh my gosh, I'd rather have a root canal or something. It was that sort of thing. So her stress was really amplified that day. I sympathized with her. I gave her a good luck kiss, even though my face was filled with shaving cream as I was getting ready for my day. And I felt bad for not taking her there because, you know, I'd always taken her there and I had this huge project at work, and that was going to take up a good chunk of my day. I had no idea that that would be the last time we would speak. When I arrived home that night, I was greeted at my front door by a polite man, and he introduced himself as the county coroner. Terry had been killed in a head-on collision with a semi-truck on the highway outside of town on her way back from her appointment. I was left alone with four of our dogs, 2 cats, a parrot, and we had 5 puppies that we had taken into our German Shepherd rescue a few weeks prior. As this coroner is talking to me, I mean, grief and shock, I mean, just overwhelm me. And I'm going to tell you what, if you've ever faced that, grief and shock, it can wreak havoc on the body. And I'm sure it's different for everybody, but while my body was going through this whirlwind, I'm thinking of all these other scenarios. I mean, even though my wife had just passed and my life would begin to spin out of control over the recent weeks, the weeks after her funeral and after a celebration of life, everything in my being told me to keep up with my fitness. And I kind of resisted that. I was like, how can you think of going and exercising when your world is upside down? But that's what helped me with the grieving. And I'm not sure why it helped. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of science behind it. And I've read several blogs and several things out there that tell you, oh, just take it easy, don't do things. But somehow I felt compelled to exercise. Even though I wanted to crawl up into a ball and just wish this nightmare away, I would sit there in silence, and well, with the exception of the waggly tails and the dog barking and stuff like that. But I just, even though I was grieving inside so bad, I still pushed forward with my exercise, and that helped me feel more in control. It helped me release anger. It helped me empower myself and to keep moving forward each day and not moving past the moment, but it helped me keep going. It helped me manage. And it wasn't always easy, but I know it helped me grieve. And as I challenged myself with getting through that exercise routine, I took on an extreme fitness routine, something that was so out of my comfort zone I never, ever had done before. And that helped empower me. It helped me overcome the fear of the unknown about my future. All I know is that this woman's life was cut way too short. And she had made such an impact, both on human and animals, as she ran a German Shepherd rescue. She was the leader of an organization called Wisconsin Dog Rescue. She was a director for distance learning for 2 colleges and 10 surrounding high schools in the area. And so she was a big deal. And she left this world way too early. And all I wanted to do was honor this lady. And the best way I could do it was to not give in to depression and give in to the things I couldn't control. You know, I'm not saying that depression can't happen, and I definitely was that way, definitely depressed and feeling out of it. But I also knew that I wanted to honor this lady by taking care of myself and doing big things. And that helped me get creative. That helped me be more productive. That helped me through the grief. It helped me get to a point to where I could help make a huge donation to our local county to help with an expansion of a dog park, which eventually was named in Terry's name, the Terry Tinsley Exercise Area. And that expanded it to 109 acres. in Jefferson County, Wisconsin, that park became rated 34th in the nation and number one in Wisconsin by Dog Fancy magazine. I mean, it was so cool. It made me proud. It makes me proud to visit there because it makes such a difference, not only in the dogs that visit, but the humans that take their dogs there. And I'll interview and I'll talk with people as I get a chance to visit there. It also helped me to honor my past, and it gave me a will to live happy, fulfilled, and healthy. And when you're going through that grieving process, you don't ever see yourself being happy again, being fulfilled again, living life, because you don't move forward. You don't move past it. You move differently. You become different. And that's where I noticed myself going through a transformation. In 2007, I decided to become a health and fitness coach to help others through other life struggles, through the struggles that they're having. They may have had loss, but they may have had some other struggles that have come along. And I left a 21-year teaching career in 2010 so I could devote my time to help more people, not only to get started with fitness, but to make living happy, healthy, and fulfilled a lifestyle, not just this one-time thing you do in life. And a lot of times people approach fitness that way. They approach it as this, oh yeah, I did that thing, or there was that one time, that period of time I was going to the gym, or no, this is life. This is it. The body was meant to move. So 7 years went by post-loss, and I found myself going through another big life event. And to be honest, there's no way I ever thought it would happen. I had become so content with my new life, my new growth. But sometimes life opens doors to places you could never imagine. So here I was, pushing through the grief of that instantaneous loss of my amazing wife. I was free of the 50 pounds that had been weighing me down for years. And I had an entire path of mindset, self-discovery, and personal development. A new career path about to unfold. All of this allowing me to grieve, to move differently, to open the doors to a new relationship. I proposed to Hillary March of 2010, and we were married later that year. I never thought I would ever get married again, and I was okay with that. I was fine with that. I was content with where I was in life. But I sure am glad that this process allowed me to open my mind. Year after year, new things would unfold. I was resistant to things for a long time. I wrote off the month of December. I would not celebrate anything December. I didn't decorate my house, nothing. December represented loss, grief. But in that time, with fitness, with mindset, with working on growth, with honoring Terry's legacy, that allowed me to let love back in. Hillary, she's an amazing woman, and she lights me up. She and I, if you ever follow us on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, even YouTube, you see us travel. You see us do so many things. And both of us both believe that Terry had something to do with bringing us together. And we both honor her legacy. And I love this awesome chapter of my life. Fitness was the catalyst of all of this. It helped me through the grief. It brought about the string of growth, events, and circumstances to give me a newfound zest for life. Now, don't get me wrong. My grief and the sense of loss is not gone. Every year we acknowledge Terry's passing. We acknowledge Terry's birthday. We acknowledge certain events that have happened. It's just that I'm able to deal with it so much better. And if I would have given up on myself like I had thought and considered so many times, if I had given up on myself and not lived my life to the fullest, man, I would have never experienced what I have now in life. So here I am. I took a chance. seriously, you know this. Nothing in life is guaranteed. And we never know how long we get. So we might as well make the most of every day the best we can. Now, sure, it doesn't mean that we're going out there and giving 110% because reality happens, stress happens, things take you out of your game. And so some days you won't always feel like you're on top of the world. But if you start looking at the blessings around you and taking in the gratitude, there are so many gifts that we have that we really don't acknowledge, we take for granted. And if you can just do your best to honor your body, to do what's within your control, even if life seems out of control, you can make the most of it to live happy, healthy, and fulfilled. Now, over the years, I've developed some really powerful habits to get myself into an amazing mindset, into an amazing frame of just looking at things and doing things. And I empower myself each and every morning. And I know a lot of times for people, morning is a chaotic time, a time where we kind of hit the snooze button too many times and then we're in a rush and a scramble. So I put things together in a free download that you are welcome to have. It's packed with routines, rituals, tips, strategies to move you from feeling chaotic and overwhelmed and out of control to feeling grateful, healthy, happy, focused, fulfilled. It's just part of a great recipe for living your life on purpose. Absolutely free. You can download that at morningsuccesshabits.com. Even if you don't do them in the morning, you could do them anytime during the day. morningsuccesshabits.com. It's all yours. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. If you found this helpful, please pass it on to someone you know who could really benefit. And please subscribe, leave an honest rating and review in your podcast app. It helps others discover this show. And for those of you that are on YouTube catching the video version, waving at you, please be sure to subscribe and smash that notifications button so you get the alert each time a new show drops. You absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.